So, fourths, quite a huge topic, or quartal harmony. I'm not gonna get into it too deeply. I just want to give you some hands-on ideas on how you can use fourths in your playing. And also, I'm gonna try to demystify some of it. It was a mystery to me when I started out trying to use fourths into my playing. So, first of all, let's look into playing fourths. So, I'm jamming over an E minor vamp, right? So E minor, F sharp minor, but I'm using these voicings, which already we're using fourths. So that's a stack of fourths, right? E, A, D, G. Just move it up a step, which is kind of like the vamp on the Coltrane version of My Favorite Things. Coltrane, of course, and McCoy Tyner, the pioneers, I guess, of using fourths in jazz. So jamming on that, and let's just try to figure out, can we play fourths just like a regular E Dorian scale? Of course we can, and you can try to make music out of it. Like they're reversed. So if you're playing diatonic fourths, one of those fourths is going to be a tritone, right? Because there needs to be a split somewhere for it to become a key, right? And not super big into that kind of playing. I remember trying to figure out how to do this, and this wasn't what I was looking for. So I'll get to what it is that I was looking for in a minute, but just bear with me. But then maybe if we play two fourths on top of each other, you get kind of this, piano players do this. It's not very user-friendly on the guitar. Even though they are, you hear some players do that kind of stuff, you know, that kind of playing. I'm not big on that either, but let's give it a try. Sorry. Yeah, it's not for me. You want to do it as chords, though. You want to definitely be able to find harmonized scales using fourths. So let's do that. Now, here's the first little secret. You can invert these fourths. So an E, A, D, that's first inversion. So A, D, E. That's a fourth and a second. That's kind of, that helps, that you don't have to be strictly fourths. As with many other things, it's not being dogmatic about something. Playing fourths doesn't mean that we're only playing fourths, but if you're using a more of a quartal harmony, it's like it should be based off of fourths rather than thirds. But that doesn't mean that they have to play only fourths. So the next inversion would be this, right? That's a beautiful sound, I think. So you want to be able to harmonize the scales there too. So I'll do that. that's really cool, right? And another thing is that I guess why jazz musicians have been using these fourths is that I guess it opens up the harmony, because if you're playing thirds, chords based on thirds, every chord has a function, and it has it's a tonic function or a dominant function. But with fourths, it's more the gravity is different. Like, is that a tonic or subdominant? Like, who knows? Which means that you can kind of go outside the harmony more easily. If I play a voicing with notes from another key, it doesn't stand out as much. I guess that's how some people think jazz sounds like, just like, right? But if I do that with a third-based voicing, if I all of a sudden go, the soloist is much more dictated by the harmony there. I'm not sure how to explain it, but the fourth opens up the harmony in a way that I think you can hear. Which of course you can use in your lines too, but I find that very tricky to do. So, we can of course play these voicings as melodies, lines as well. Like that too. I find that pretty tricky to do, even though you hear players like Shikuria, McCoy Tyner, players of that ilk, they'll totally play fourths in their playing, and it doesn't stand out at all. But so what I discovered is that the secret to using fourths in your playing is, are you ready? Pentatonics. Because if you think about it, E minor pentatonic scale is a stack of fourths. I can play same notes, right? So, which means I'm actually playing a stack of fourths. And if I play the same pattern I did before with the diatonic scale, meaning I skip a note, go back, skip a note, go back, skip a note, I get fourths, except in one place where I get a third. Except from the G, I get a third. As I said before, you need a split somewhere. Sorry. So let's listen to that. Now I like this more. This is what I'm looking for. And this really opens up the possibility of going outside too, right? That kind of stuff. You have to do it kind of fast, I think, for it to sound good. It sounds weird if you do it slow. It's kind of like a sax, Michael Brecker kind of thing. So let's see here, what else? Oh yeah, an example of that would be the tune Freedom Jazz Dance, right? It's actually an F. Or B flat, depending on how you look at it. So that's an example of how you can use fourths as a way to get outside. So you want to listen to Eddie Harris, who wrote that tune. He does that a lot. A lot of jazz musicians go through their Eddie Harris phase, as it were. All right, so we got pentatonics. So that was my little tip of the day. When using fourths in your jazz playing, think pentatonics. Alright, I shall see you next time. Cheers.